Today we are talking about the basics of DevOps. It's something that wasn't even really a term in the 80s and 90s. I believe it was a guy in the early 2000s named Martin Fowler who actually came up with the concept of CI, or continuous integration. His concept was that developers should integrate their work frequently, like pretty much daily, just to make sure that everything was working, and those integrations go through tests to make sure that the code is actually up to standard before actually being fully committed in to the main branch. And from this concept, the first early tools were actually invented. Hudson, which you'll now know as Jenkins, actually came out in that early 2000 range. And essentially Hudson became Jenkins once Sun Microsystems got bought out by Oracle, and they had a dispute about the project and everything, and then there was a fork that happened. However, Jenkins was way more complex than what it needed to be. Now there are way better ways and tools to be able to do CI/CD. One of my favorite is using GitHub Actions or Bitbucket pipelines. Just like with Jenkins, where you are declaring what's going to happen in a Groovy language or in a Jenkins file, with Bitbucket pipelines or GitHub Actions, you're going to declare what you want to happen inside of a YAML file. For GitHub Actions, it's going to be a GitHub Actions YAML file, and for Bitbucket, it's going to be a Bitbucket pipelines YAML file. All this is an ability to be able to run a instance in the cloud or self-hosted that is able to do a set of instructions of actions that you want it to do. And you can set it up with everything that you need. That's kind of cool. It's almost like a Docker. You can essentially set it up with a specific type of OS that GitHub Actions or Bitbucket will basically allow. You could be able to write your code. You then can update your code, and when you push your code, it's able to do all the testing and all the things that you would normally do manually to ensure that it's actually going to work with your project, all in the cloud or all self-hosted somewhere, that you can be able to then look at the logs and ensure everything's working. And then from there, you can ensure with confidence that your actual code will actually be deployed to wherever you want it to be.